What local Floridians hate more than waiting in line at their local Publix to make themselves their pub sub is this group of people that have decided to move down here in the past 6 years, and we're not the biggest fans. So good afternoon. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And like I stated in the little intro of the video, and also by the title states, it's probably gonna say them along the lines of like what local Floridians despise the most or hate the most or whatever it is, something along those lines, right? And the answer to that question, and the reason why you probably clicked on this video, is the Northerners, specifically the Northeasterners that decided to move down here during the 2020 to 2023 COVID boom. Is what we call it down here, is the COVID boom during those 3 years when everyone moved down here. Now, why did everyone move down here? Well, during COVID, Florida was a open, or I think they call it a free or open state. It was an open state, but they call it like a free state or whatever it is, where we were very lax with the COVID like restrictions or regulations or whatever it is. This isn't a politic video. This isn't my opinion on the COVID stuff. This not what I'm getting at. I'm not saying I'm for or against. That's not what I'm insinuating. All I'm saying is that during those 3 years, pretty much the first 2 years of COVID, Florida was open. There wasn't many restrictions, were very lax with their stuff. So a lot of people moved down here. And what I mean by a lot of people, I'm talking about the people in the Northeast who had like very strict or very harsh COVID restrictions or lockdowns or whatever it is. They couldn't really do a lot of the stuff that they wanted to do. They were pretty much cooped up in home, and people saw down here in Florida that we were still on the beach, we were still on the water. Everything looked like it was normal. So as a result, people from up north moved down here and moved down south and brought their crappy ways of life with them. And what do I mean by crappy ways of life? The first one up that I'm talking about with crappy ways of life are their manners. If you ever interacted with a Northeasterner, you can hear how they carry themselves with such an egotistical point of view. It's like the center of the world revolves around them, and merely we are in their way or we're an inconvenience to them, and they look down upon you. They talk to you, especially local Floridians. Most of the time they think of the South as like rednecks and backwoods boys and stuff like that, which yes, we do have those, and we do have them, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not being like, oh, that's bad, no. But when they look at people, Southerners, like they're a bunch of redneck hicks, that they just like they're dumb. But then they proceed to move down here and walk all over you because, oh, you're a Southerner, you're not that smart, you're dumb. I'm from the Northeast, I'm educated, but whatever, and you're dumber, and I'm smarter than you, so I know better than you. So they come down here thinking they know how Floridians or the South operates, and they get smacked with the reality where people don't tolerate that stuff. And that's one of the reasons why people hate Yankees out here, is because they think they run the world, or they run the state, or they run like their local county, or they run their little world. But the reality is no one cares, but their ego can't take that. They think that Southerners, like I said, are just dumb redneck hicks that aren't smart or aren't educated or whatever you want it to be, and they walk all over you, and they carry themselves all chest up, chest puffed out, like, oh yeah, like that kind of thing. Like, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you actually interact with a Northerner, especially like a pompous person from like Boston or New York, like New York City, because they think the world revolves around them. So as a result of the COVID lockdowns in the Northeast and people moving down here, and like I said about their extensive entitlement and their ego, why we don't like them also is during that time, they were paying tens of thousands, if not $100,000 over the asking price of a home. So during then, the average home down here in Florida, if you can look on like Realtor, was like low 300s at most. Like you're talking like $280,000 for like a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2-bath, whatever it is, like a single family home, a nice single family home. But people come in and completely outbid the local Floridians, and as a result, the realtors got greedy. Everyone got greedy. Developers got greedy and started charging these asinine, very high prices for homes and rent and stuff like that, because they know the people from up north have the money and they move down here and they're willing to pay for it. And as a result, the local Floridians have gotten priced out on a lot of places and haven't had to move further away from their work or wherever, because that's what they can afford. And as a result, the prices have just skyrocketed for homes, rent, and things like that, because like I said, people are willing to pay for it. And now as a result, those prices will never really come back down, because that's just not how it works. Prices just don't go down. And like inflation goes up, deflation is what causes prices to go down. And as a result, we're not going to have a true deflationary period, because as a result of all the high influx of people from up north and all their money, the prices are still going to stay, again, are still going to pay high. Now they're not going to be as high as what they were, and people are trying to sell now and they can't make their money back, which is creating a housing problem, like a housing bubble. But that's a different video for a different time that I probably really can't speak about, because I'm not the most smart on that stuff. But what I can speak on as a local is that we've gotten outpriced for a lot of like our homes and our rents here in the Northeast, like in Northeast Florida. But people will probably puff their chest like, ho ho ho, like they'll take the comments and be like, oh, okay, I can pay whatever over asking or whatever. Or they're gonna make some dumb comment, and I know they're going to, because that's what they are. They're dumb. They may be book smart, but life they are stupid, and they're gonna make some dumb comment, and it's just gonna be like, you'll see the sense of entitlement. But you'll know what I'm talking about for locals who've gotten outpriced for the home that they wanted or an apartment they wanted, because the realtors and the people and all them know that if they go to a different group and a different subset of people, like the Northerners, they know they can get more money out of them. And as a result, the locals have gotten screwed. Now, the last one up that is, I'm gonna make it quick, is also the development. Now, as a result, yes, to bring down housing prices, you need to increase the supply. I agree. But there's also a problem with development. Florida develops very, very quickly. And the way Florida develops is also they develop the homes first before they put the infrastructure in, like a lot of like roadway expansion and stuff like that. They'll put infrastructure in because that's required by county code and state code. But a lot of roads and stuff get expanded later on down the road when there are the influx of people, and roadways take forever to build. I know in my hometown I have a few county roads that have taken multiple years to finally expand out, but you've been dealing with that traffic ever since. That came in 4 years ago, but it's taken that long to alleviate the pressure of the traffic. So as a result, a lot of expansions and stuff like that take a bit, but you have everyone complaining that things aren't getting expanded quickly. But if you expand quickly, then you run the problem with the municipalities not catching up as quick. But also development for homes, housing, like people that you come in, clear cut the forest and put a subdivision up. People don't like that. But the other side of that sword is, well, then how are you going to alleviate the housing the problem, the crisis, whatever you want to call it? Yes, I get that, but a lot of locals don't like the way their towns and everything has been developed so quickly by these out-of-state developers that have come in, clear cut the land that they used to love and go mudding and fishing, hunting, and threw a subdivision in a year. People don't like that. But anyways, guys, as you can tell, this is a little rant video about the Northerners and the yuppies, but hope you guys have a great day. If you did like this content, and you'll probably see me in the same outfit because I'll be filming portions of an Ironman video. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So if you do want to see that video, be sure to subscribe. But I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you all take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.